Hey guys, Nakhshon here, the Grounded Man. In the last 6 years, I've been training under the Ido Portal method, and I've seen in the last few years and months, many people use the term movement training in the wrong way. And in this video, I wanted to explain what it is and shed some light on it. Let's go. Trying to explain what movement training is always really hard because it's made out of many different principles and mindsets. But if I try to water it down into the core of what it really is, I can break it down into two different things. Movement training is a term and it's also a mindset. So let's say, for example, that you do rock climbing. Now, rock climbing is a term for a practice, a field, a sport where people do specific exercises and they use specific principles to do them. Inside this rock climbing world, you won't see people do squats, for example, or backflips because it's not part of this world, part of this practice and field. So let's say you actually do rock climbing and you saw someone doing handstands, a friend of yours, and you said to yourself, wow, this looks amazing and I really want to learn how to do handstands as well. So you decided to start working on it whenever you're doing rock climbing. Now, how would you call your session then? How would you call your workout? Would you still call it rock climbing? Not really, right? Because handstands are not part of your rock climbing. So if someone would ask you, what are you working on? What do? You would probably say, oh, I do rock climbing and handstands, which is fair. It's a good way to explain what you do. But what if you incorporated tens of different exercises into your rock climbing session? Would you still call it by the exercise's name? Not really, because it's just too inconvenient. So in order to explain what you do, you would need to find a common denominator between all of these exercises. That common denominator is movement. You see, in terms of terms that describe your practice, movement training is at the highest. It holds inside of it all of the exercises you can do with your body. You don't need to break it down into, oh, I do rock climbing and I do handstands and I do some floor work and I do some dancing or whatever. You can just say movement training and it explains all of it. The mindset of movement training is understanding that there are no rules, boundaries, or limits on how your workout should look like. When you change your perspective from being a weightlifter, a ballet dancer, or a Pilates practitioner into being a mover, you're not limited by the rules of the practice that you've been practicing this entire time. You suddenly realize that you have this infinite amount of exercises that you can work with. You can combine things from many different fields. You can take something from the yoga world, combine it with something from the Tai Chi martial arts world, and maybe spice it up with something from the swimming world. You can do whatever you want. You can combine everything that you want into your own unique practice that you actually enjoy and love doing. This lens, this perspective just makes you feel very free. It makes you understand that you can do whatever you want and you're not limited by anything. You can build out your own practice and do whatever you like. Maybe there's something in the rock climbing world that you adore, something that really makes you feel alive and you enjoy doing it, but you've never discovered it because you don't like the rest of it. Maybe there's an exercise from the yoga world that you really love, but you just hated all of the spiritual things that come with it. That's the whole fun of the movement perspective of building up your own workouts, your own sessions, your own training. You can take only what you want and do just that. I know it might be overwhelming when first introduced to this perspective. You might feel like, oh, this world of movement is just too big for me and I have no idea where to start. It's just too much to digest. And it's completely fine to feel that way. I'm not introducing you to this perspective so that you'll abandon everything that you're doing right now and just jump into this movement world and be a mover. You can start small. You can start with a small step. The easiest way to start is find an exercise that seems interesting to you and incorporate it into your own practice, into whatever you're doing. Find the easiest variation of that exercise and start working on it, and slowly maybe bring more exercises after you feel comfortable with that one. Then you'll slowly start to feel the freedom of choosing your own practice, of doing only what you love and what you enjoy. You start to discover who you are inside this movement world and what turns you on and what makes you tick, what makes you enjoy moving. That's it for this video. I really hope it changed your perspective, maybe even a bit, and that you will take it with you to your next workout, that you'll incorporate maybe one new thing into your workout and find your own way inside this movement world. Let me know down in the comments if there's anything else you'd like to learn about the movement world. Maybe it's specific exercises or mindsets. Until next time, peace.